Hey guys, today I'm going to be installing a cancel for the OEM proportion valve on my 240Z. The reason I want to cancel out the rear OEM proportion valve, which is located right next to the differential, is because I've upgraded the front and rear brakes. As you can see, we have the Silvermine Motors front Wilwood brake upgrade with the large caliper, and also the rear kit. Currently the brake feel is biased towards the front. When I press the brakes all the way, the front brakes lock up way before the rear brakes. And I don't have an adjustable proportion valve installed. We're just doing testing right now. So my first step is to cancel out the original proportion valve, and we're going to use this double female fitting. And basically that's going to just cancel out the OEM prop valve and make a straight line through. And then we'll retest the car and see, do we have too much rear brake or is it the perfect bias? If we have too much rear brake, then we'll have to install an adjustable prop valve on the front brake line. If it's perfect, then we'll leave it as is. Okay guys, I'm here underneath the passenger rear wheel of the car. That's the differential right there. And right over here is the OEM proportion valve, right there. So we're going to replace that valve with this fitting, just like that. So let's get started. Alright guys, so I just deleted the stock proportion valve and took the car for a test drive. And before I deleted the stock rear proportion valve, which is located right next to the rear differential, the front brakes were locking up way before the rear. And so the car would kind of just keep going straight. When you press the brakes, the front would lock up. Now that I deleted the rear OEM proportion valve, the rear brakes are locking up before the fronts. So I have full pressure to the front and rear, and the rear's locking up before the front. So now I know that I have to install an adjustable Wilwood proportion valve to the rear brake line and turn down the rear until the bias is perfect. And for me, the perfect bias is when the front locks up just before the rear does. I have the rear 6816 caliper kit, Dynalite caliper, and the front 11131 caliper. It's a super light caliper from Silvermine Motors. Alright guys, this is the Wilwood prop valve, and these are the custom parts from Silvermine Motors that will allow you to bolt this into the Z-Car hardline brake system. As you can see in here, the Wilwood prop valve has an inverted flare. So what you have to do is plug in this side. This is a bubble flare. So this goes into there perfectly. So we're going to hook this side, the bubble flare side, on this, and then bubble flare on this side. So it'll kind of look like that. This side will go to the master cylinder, that side will go into the original hardline that plugged into the master cylinder. So this is how it looks all assembled. Now you just have to bend the hard lines and install it. I also made this little aluminum bracket using some L-shaped aluminum. I just drilled 2 holes there for that, and then this side is going to go into this bolt right there off the booster. Alright guys, so I got the Wilwood prop valve mounted and I bent up the first little section of hardline. I was able to just bend it by hand. Okay guys, so I just hooked up the in line into my Wilwood adjustable proportion valve. You can see the new line right here coming out of the rear output of the master cylinder. It goes around and connects right there on the in port. So now I just have to do the out line, which will go from here into this original line, which used to go into the master cylinder. So basically we just added this extra stuff right before that. Alright, so I installed the out hard line coming out of the prop valve. You can see where I'm have my middle finger there. I'm about to connect it to this pipe right here, and this pipe was originally connected in the output of the master cylinder. So I'm just going to connect these two with this double female fitting right here. Alright, I'm done installing the prop valve. On the inside, this one I had to use a 20-inch long hard line, and on this side I used a 12-inch long hard line, and I just needed this one double female fitting. And now I'm ready to re-bleed the brakes and test the car, and obviously the rear is too strong, so I just turn this knob, tighten it, and the more I tighten it, the weaker the rear brakes are going to get because it's cutting pressure to the rear line. So I'll let you know what happens.